Chatbot easy version, really simple. We need a text box so the user can write the answers. We need a interaction, so the user use the text box to introduce text. Really simple. I need a button to send my answer, or actually the user's answer, into the chatbot. And I need a label to display the answers from the chatbot. All I need. We may include extra elements. Maybe on Friday, we may be able to include a speech recognition and videos, etc. But right now, keep it simple. So I need to understand this first. This is not what I want you. This is it. My conversation, or any conversation, simple conversation, it's as follows. First level conversation could be a question. For example, would you like to talk? Right? The chatbot should ask, would you like to talk? Would you like to start working with me? And again, we got three options: yes, or affirmative, negative, and weird answers. Something that is not affirmative nor negative. The user may say, the chatbot may say, do you want to talk with me? And the user may say, Monday. Okay, Monday is not an affirmative nor a negative. So what do I do? Okay, we need to consider something out of the scope. Something not as a defined answer. So this is not definer. Three options, students. So if I got a negative answer, well, I got a simple answer like, I'll be here for you if you need me. And that's it. The conversation ends here. No more conversation. If I get a non-defined answer, I should provide another answer like, I don't understand Monday. And that's it. The conversation ends here. If I provide an affirmative answer, I should provide options for my conversation. Let's say topics, provide topics. What kind of topics? What do you want to talk about? Topics. All these students, all the answers for the first question, the first conversation, it's on level 2 for conversation, right? Because at the very beginning, the chatbot displays this. So this is the first message, first level conversation. And then depending on the answer, I provide an answer for negative answer, an answer for non-defined, and an answer for affirmative. So this is a second level conversation. We call this the depth of the conversation. For negative and not defined, this is the end for my conversation, no more. For affirmative, I should provide again options, right? Maybe for topics, I can say sports, movies, and we can add more. But also, always we should consider non-defined answers. Maybe the user says, I want to talk about soap operas. Oops, my program can talk only about sports and movies. I don't know about soap operas. So I need to consider something out of the scope, and then again provide a proper answer for this situation. Like, sorry, I don't know anything about soap operas. And the conversation ends here. But if you see, for sports and movies, here we got a third level conversation. And we can go deeper and deeper. For sports, I can talk about soccer, tennis, swimming, and again, non-defined answer. And this could be level 4. If you see, students, the structure it's exactly the same. Option 1, option 2, non-defined. I can copy the original program for my level 1 and use it on level 2 and use it on level 3 and level 4. So you will see the structure, it's always the same. All we need to do is to copy, paste, copy, paste. So let's go for the real program. First of all, students, I need to, where is it? Here it is. I need to get a track for this conversation depth, because depending on the depth of my conversation, it's the kind of answer I should provide. I should not talk about sports on conversation number 2. I cannot talk about swimming on conversation number 2, on this depth conversation. So I need to create a variable, students, to save this data for later. So depth. That's it. This is some memory position to save data on it. For example, you got a piece of paper and you write depth and you write the number to remember this number for later. So at the very beginning, this variable it's equals to 0. Excellent. And also, I need to save the text from the user for later. Usually, if I need to read the answer from the user, I got the text property from the text box. And this should work. But remember, every time the user writes something here, and if the user wants to write something again, it has to delete the previous text and write the new one. That's quite annoying. You will see. I will show you the difference, so you will understand. So every time I got an answer, I'm going to clear the text from the text box. So the text box it's available to get a new answer. So if I'm going to delete the text from the text box, I need to save this text in a variable. I need to write the answer from the user in a piece of paper to remember the answer for later. So I'm going to call this text. So this is only memory position, a piece of paper to write data for later. I'm going to use the depth value and the text from the user for later. So students, every time the user clicks the button, the user sends an answer. So every time the user clicks the button, we got a new depth level. Question, do you want to talk? Answer, yes, no, a weird answer. Click the button to send the answer. So we got an increment in the depth level. Every time the user clicks the button, we got an increment. Therefore, in my program, I'm going to say, very good, my variable depth that originally it's equals to 0. When I click my button, it's going to be the original value, the previous value, plus 1. So this is my increment. Every time the user clicks the button, the depth level it's increased by 1. Nothing new. Now, I want to save. Okay, no, I don't want. Okay, this works, but give me a second. because if you remember, we had problems if the user writes something like this, mixing capital letters and downcase letters. If the user writes like this, the computer gets confused and maybe the program will not work. So we need to do something here. We need to change everything to capital letters or everything to downcase letters. So instead of doing this works, but in order to transform this text into capital letters or downcase letters, we use from text the upcase tool. This one, it's going to convert any letter, my bad, my memory, any letter from the text box to capital letters. If you want to work on capital letters, it's okay. I prefer downcase letters, but it's exactly the same. We need all the letters to be exactly the same. Could be all capital letters, could be all low downcase letters, but choose only one. So I prefer downcase letters. So I use downcase. You can use upcase. And then I'm going to save this text in my variable. I need to do something really fast. Be right back. Less than a minute. I just need to turn something off because it can burn. So be right back. Give me a second. Sorry for that, students, but it was dangerous if I leave it like that. So that's it, students. We got the depth increment and the downcase conversation. So we don't have any problem about capital letters, downcase letters, not anymore. This solves all the problem. Now, every time the users click the button, I want to clear this. So the text box is going to be ready to get a new text. Therefore, when I click my button, I'm going to change the text box text property, and I'm going to write nothing on it, empty. This is it. So this deletes any text on the text box number 1. That's it. That's all the previous configuration I need for my chatbot. Really easy. Depth increment, downcase conversation, and clear the text box so I can use it again. Now let's go for the real communication program. This one. This is what I need. Oh, come on. So the first thing I need to check is if I am on level 1 for conversation, I need to check for affirmative, negative, or something weird. So first thing first. If, okay, I need to add more, but okay. If my conversation depth it's equals to 1, I need to do something. So let's get first this. If my conversation, no, I don't want the comment, I want to copy. Now, this is it. This is conversation depth equals to 1. So if this is true, I am on the first stage of my conversation. I need to check for affirmative answers, negative answers, and if there is no affirmative and it's not negative, it's for sure something not defined. So I can use an else if. The first if it's for affirmative, the second one for negative, and the else condition is for something that is not affirmative nor negative. So this one goes here. And now I need to identify keywords for affirmative answers. I'm going to keep this simple. I'm just going to use two keywords. But if you remember, we can add as many keywords as you want, including more slots in the or condition. Okay, maybe for this one, yes, Jimena?
Teacher, here is where we need to add like as minimum 10.
Exactly, Jimena. This is it. So I'm going to add 4. Okay, 4, it's okay. This is it. And how do I identify keywords? Remember, we use the contains. We check the text and identify if it contains a specific word. Which word? Well, of course, my keyword. So how do you say yes? Well, of course, yes. What else? Yup. Well, maybe yep. I don't know. Sure. Yeah, sure. It's also. What else? Of course. Course. And well, use your imagination. Yeah, I know it's hard, but try to get at least 10. So, okay. And where I'm going to look for these words? In my text. Do you remember? I copy the text box element on this variable. Yes, Jimena?
Sorry, teacher. They can be any word.
Yes, any word that provides the idea of an affirmative answer. Because remember, I need to identify, the chatbot is going to say, do you want to talk? So the user can say yes, can say yep, can say sure, can say of course, can say, I don't know, but in order to identify an affirmative answer. Okay, Jimena?
Yes, thank you.
Excellent. So where do I need to identify these keywords? On the text from the user. Remember, the text box was clear at the very beginning, but it's not a problem because I saved the answer from the user in my variable called text. So it's my piece of paper. I go to my piece of paper, check the piece of paper and read, this is what the user wrote on the text box. So I read what I wrote on my piece of paper called text. So I need to check on text for yes or yep. But no, I don't want to add comments. I want to copy. Or sure or of course. That's it. This is what I got. This way I identify an affirmative answer. And then there should be a reaction. Let's wait for the reaction. Let's go for the second option. What's the second option? Affirmative, negative. Okay. How do we identify negative answers? Well, could be nope, could be nope, and that's all I know. Could be nah, and I don't know, nel, or on Russian, niet. And that's it. That's all I know. Sorry.
So we can
Usually,
use different like language to say yes or no.
but no, it's because I lack of imagination, so I use Russian. But should be any way the user can say no, and should be on English, only English. So no, okay, Russian no. What can I do? I don't know. Another way to say no. Negative. Okay, it's an option. Just don't use on other languages. I use Russian because As you can see, I got no imagination. That's it. And the else condition is for anything that is not here. That's it. So if it's not this nor this, well, I don't care whatever answer is. I got the non-defined answer here in the else. So all I need to do now is to provide the proper reaction for affirmative, the proper reaction for negative, and the proper reaction for something out of my original idea, something not defined. So remember, the answers from the chatbot are always displayed on label number 1. So label number 1 dot text, and I should provide a message. If the user say yes, I want to talk, the chatbot can say, what would you like to talk about? And of course, question mark, and this is it. This is a proper answer, right? What would you like to talk about? Okay. The user says no. Well, it's a shame. I'll be here for you if you need to talk. I guess it's a good option, a good answer. What if the user says something out of my scope, something I don't know, I don't identify? Okay, I can say I don't, oh, come on, understand it, and that's it. It works, but we can do it better, right? So I can say I don't understand, and instead of it, I can say specifically the text used for the user. So I'm going to use this join element to join the basic I don't understand plus whatever the user said. So I got this. So if the user say Monday, the chatbot is going to say I don't understand Monday. If the user say supercalifragilisticoespiralidoso, the chatbot is going to say I don't understand supercalifragilisticoespiralidoso. That's it. I don't know that on English. I need to see Mary Poppins on English. Okay. And we can do better here, right? If the user says no, it's okay to say I'll be here if you need to talk, but also I should restart the program to allow the user to change his mind and try to talk. So I'm going to ask this. Look, I'm going to say, I'll be here if you need to talk. And I'm going to add a new line. Remember, well, no, remember, maybe you don't know this, but if you want to write in the next line in a text box, you need to use the /n symbol. This is like enter. You hit enter, so you write down. And after I'll be here if you need to talk, I am going to ask again, do you want to talk? So the user gets the chance to talk again. And the same here, right? I can, the chatbot can say, I don't understand this. And so allow the user to start talking again. So let me add this also. It's going to say, I don't understand Monday. Jump to the next line and say, do you want to talk again? So if the user wants to talk again, the program starts over. So I need to restart the global depth to 0, right? because the program starts again. So I need to start over this way. This global depth equal to 0 means that the program gets at the very beginning and says, welcome, my name is chatbot. Do you want to talk again? So this set global depth equal to 0 restarts the program because, as I told you, for a negative answer, that means the end of my conversation, and it's something good to allow the user to go back to at the very beginning. The same for non-defined. So that's why I reset depth to 0. And that's it. Now I got my first level interaction. Do you want to see this in action, or you want me to add more levels and after that I show you the interaction? What would you prefer?
I think more levels until you show.
Okay, so this is first level, really easy. Now we should answer only yes on this first level, really easy, only one option. So I need to set exactly the same structure. Look, I'm just going to copy. You see, it's exactly the same. My question was, what would you like to talk about? So I need to provide options for the topic. So same structure. If my depth conversation level is 2 now, because it's the second level, and then I need to provide options for my topics. I don't have only yes, no, and non-defined this time. I want to have maybe sports, movies, and books. So the structure may be more or less the same, but not the same because I need one new else if. The first one is for sports, the second one for books, the third one for movies, and the non-defined answer. So if the user wants to talk about sports, well, it can say sports, and what else? Well, no imagination at all. Another way to say sports, well, today my imagination is awful. So if you found another way to say sports, you can add the keywords here. If your imagination is as poor as mine, you don't need all the conditions, only the first one, right? So that's it. Another way to say sports. Sorry, I'm dry. Okay, so this, yeah.
It depends the subject we're talking about. Okay.
But we can, every if, it's a different topic. And inside of the or, it's the different words used by the user to refer this topic. So the first one is sports, and I don't have another idea, another word to say sports.
So we can do the first one you teach?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome. And okay, I want to talk about books. So this is it, books. And again, literature. Oh yeah. I got it here. In this, my imagination say, okay, so I can say books, I can say literature, and what else?
Can we say my magazine?
What? Can you repeat?
Magazine?
Magazines? But magazines and books are not the same. So if you want to talk about magazines, you should create a new else if situation, because books and magazines are not exactly the same. So you need to be careful.
So instead of sports and books, can we use another topic?
Mhm. You can talk about any topic. Remember, the instruction says we need to follow the well-being environment. So I guess you need to talk about involvement, achievement, etc., etc. Sorry, boring topics, but that's the way. So only two keywords for books. Sorry, books and literature. So I don't need this nor this, right? You can leave it like this and it's okay, but it looks ugly, so I remove the slots I don't need. And I need also a condition for what was that? Movies. Movies. Another way to say movies. What's cinematografia? No idea. Give me a second. Let me look for that word. You see the keywords.
So we need to do the topics or of well-being or no?
Of what? Sorry.
Well-being.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, you need to follow the well-being environment. So you should talk on really easy cinematography.
So teacher,
Okay.
the well-being, we need to use it on the first and second level.
Yes. Well, for the first level, it's hello. It's hello. Would you like to talk? So that's for sure. So you need to use it for 2, 3, and so on.
Of well-being, right?
Yeah, the well-being environment. And that's it. So if the user says he wants to talk about sports, I need to provide a proper answer about sports. What could it be? What is your favorite sport? Yeah. What
And teacher,
is?
on well-being, what we can answer or what we can like ask, sorry.
Sorry. Again.
In the question of well-being, what we can ask.
Well, something about the topics. Do you remember the well-being? It's a achievement. I don't remember all the elements, but for example, it's healthy. So you can talk about the sports, yeah. And it's also a culture. So the books, it's okay. Maybe movies, no. So the idea is to choose topics related to the well-being, not exactly the well-being. Do you understand now?
Yes.
Excellent. So if the user says sports, the chatbot is going to say, what is your favorite sport? And if the user says books, I don't need to answer this, right? This was for negative, so no, not anymore. I just need to provide a proper answer for books. I don't know. What do you prefer? Novels, tragedy? Let's keep it simple. You can think about this. What is your favorite book? Quite boring, right? But I don't want to spend too much time thinking on the answers. And about movies, exactly the same. Sorry. What is your favorite movie? But you can think deeper, right? For books, what is your favorite author? What do you think about Harry Potter? I don't know. It's up to you. So I got my options: sports, books, movies, and if again the user says something that is not sports, nor books, nor movies, maybe I don't need to answer I don't understand. Maybe this time I can say I don't know anything about and the topic used for the user. Let's say he says soap operas. The chatbot is going to say, I don't know anything about soap operas. Do you want to talk? And start over the conversation. So you see, This is my level 2 conversation, and it's exactly the same structure as for level 1. And guess what? For level 3, it's exactly the same. That's why I copy this, and I'm going to say level 3. But now I need to get the proper answers. For example, the user says, I want to talk about sports. So the chatbot say, what is your favorite sport? So I need to provide options for sports. My first option could be soccer. My option number 2 could be swimming. Actually, you know what? The first one is swimming. And the second one is going to be soccer, because I can say soccer, I can say football.
What did you, the one in the first part, we only have to put like names of different sports.
Exactly.
And on the other one, on the other part, we need to write like different titles of books.
You get it now. And another for movies. So, and so on, so on. It keeps growing. So you get it now. You need to follow the previous question. So
But
it's
all one level is only for different names of sports.
and I need to do yes,
And
yes,
that
yes.
for level is for the title of different books.
Exactly. Look, on level 3, remember, on level 3, I can talk, well, the user can choose sports. So I need to provide level 3 sports. And I don't remember what was this, but let's say movies. So level 3 for movies, level 3 for books, and level 3 not defined. So in this first structure, I got, no, this one, I got the sports ready. No, not ready, but I'm going to do it. And in here, again, level 3, I need to talk about the books. So what is it? Remember, we use keywords, only words. So don't write the Lord of the Rings, because these are no words. It's a whole sentence, and we work with keywords. So look for the specific word to refer a book. For example, The Lord of the Rings. Well, there is a big chance to identify only rings. Or this is another option. Add many ORs conditions. For example, this. And so we can look for Lord and rings. And then we can be sure. You can add the, but remember, a lot of books starts with the. So maybe that's not a good idea. But if the answer has Lord and has rings, there is a big chance for my answer to be the Lord of the Rings, right? You get it? Don't use the full sentence here. Use keywords. That's the name, keywords. You get it now, students? Is this clear now?
We maintain all the blocks for the options of sports, or we have to delete some blocks.
Okay, yes, or you can add more. I mean, I provide only 3 options, but you can add more options, maybe tennis, karate, I don't know. So yes, this is the example, but you may change it as you wish. So option for sports, swimming, options for another sport, soccer, football, and remember, Latinian people says literally football. Okay, this is the proper way. It's British, so this is the way, but lots of people write it like this. So all the options. And another sport was swimming, football, and I don't remember, let's say tennis. Mhm. And is there another name for tennis? I don't remember, and I don't want to think about it. So that's it. Only one option for tennis. So if the user says swimming, you need to talk about swimming. I don't know. What could it be? Do you know Michael Phelps? Yes, Jimena?
Teacher, also on that we have to put 10 options to say soccer, for example.
As many as possible. I mean, the rubric is quite strict. I mean, I don't think there are 10 words for soccer, so no.
We only put like the original number because name, sorry, because for tennis I don't, or for another sports I don't think there is another way to call it.
Use your common sense. So yes, maybe for example, soccer, football, and football, it's common sense. Tennis, no idea. Maybe if there is an expert on tennis, can say the white sport. I got it. Tennis, and I don't know any.
If we only put for this part only one name for the sport, it's not going to affect our grade.
No. Okay. One thing is the grade. The grade is not so strict. The rubric is if you want to win the prize. Okay. So if your only goal is to get a good grade, keep it as simple as possible. Only 2-3 options, and that's it. If you want to win the prize, you need to provide a lot of options, artificial intelligence, etc., etc.
Okay, so in the other levels, can we only put like 2 or 3 options?
Okay. That's enough.
Okay, thank you.
So you're welcome. And swimming, it's wrong. Swimming. So do you know Michael Phelps? Phelps. Or, okay, I'm going to keep only 3-level depth. We got, students, this conversation flow, right? But remember, conversations cannot be endless. We need to set a limit, right? We need to finish the conversation at a very moment. So it's up to you when you want to stop the conversation. For example, here I ask, do you know Michael Phelps? So I can continue talking about Michael Phelps, or what's your favorite swimming style, etc. But let's say for soccer, I want to stop it. I don't want to go deeper. So I need to provide a proper answer. I don't really like soccer. And then we need to restart the global deep value in order to go over at the very beginning of the program. And maybe we can add something extra. This is up to your imagination. This is the way you usually want, the way you usually change the topic. So my chatbot is going to say, I don't really like soccer, and isn't there any other topic you would like to talk about? I don't know. That's the most polite answer I can get. Isn't there any other topic you would like to talk about? So in this part, I finish my conversation. You need to set a level. You cannot go on forever. So it's up to you. When you want to stop, it's up to you. Please don't stop as soon as I say yes, okay? Do at least 3 levels for conversation. And we're running out of time. But I guess now, students, you get the idea, right? We put the level 3 options for sports, we put level 3 options for books. Don't forget, don't use the full name of the book. Use keywords, Lord and Rings. If in the text there are Lord and Rings, there is a 90.5% of possibilities, of chances for the user to be talking about the Lord of the Rings. So keep it simple. And we need to add again, copy, paste the structure for movies. And if you want to go deeper, well, you need to copy, paste level 4, and you need to follow the conversation. For example, the user says, I don't know why it's Lord of the Rings twice. Okay, maybe I come here. So, do you know Michael Phelps? So you need to provide options to talk about Michael Phelps, like yes, what was his best time on breaststroke, or I don't know. Yes, Jimena?
So can we only put on the 3 level? Can
Yeah.
we skip 4?
Yeah, 3 level it's good enough. If you want to go
And-
deeper, will be nice.
And that's not gonna like affect our grade, right? If
No,
we only put 3 level. Okay.
Mhm. And it's almost time, students. So is this clear now? It's easier, right? Actually, this is exactly the same as I explained yesterday, but I got some automatic functions to do these elements and to provide better interaction. But let's keep it simple. This way works.